In 2015, I quarried up the whole garden, and right underneath my feet, I made an underground bunker. Come on!
One got to get it cut sooner or later. My style's looking to run like an 80s waiter. David won't rip you off, he's not that kind of guy. Just keep it long on top and short up the sides. It seems that street talk is being put on the shelf. I wouldn't want my ear cut by anybody else. It's gonna take an inch like a personal trainer. Just you don't ever flinch, or you be an operator. You know that Bill and Dave, man, they're always fine. Street talk is going nowhere, stuck on the borderline. It seems that street talk is being put on the shelf. I wouldn't want my ear cut by anybody else. We all make mistakes, especially each other. The left on mine is gonna hold
Good lad.
me down. You know that Bill and Dave, they're like two brothers. The style of my hair's gonna stand me up from the ground.
Now, it's nearly 5 years old now, so how is it keeping up? As you never know when you might need it. As you can see, it completely blends in. If you didn't know it was here, you wouldn't know it was here. The grass is all the same now. It's pretty flat. I've got houses behind me, which I didn't have before. The solid shed is still a really solid shed. If you want to see how to make that shed, there is a video showing you how to make that shed. And that shed actually won Shed of the Year in 2017 for the bunker bit as well. All looks pretty normal up here. Let's have a look. It's just as amazing as the day I built it.
Is this the real thing?
This place has stood still in time. Even the tape is still stuck to the walls. The ladder, of course, of it being stainless steel, they've got no corrosion, it's got no damage on it or anything. The only thing I have changed in the tunnel, as I'd like to call it, is I have lacquered the walls and I've added 4 vents into the floor, and I'll get onto why I did that shortly when I'm in the main room. The only other thing which has happened in here, which hasn't happened anywhere else in the whole bunker, is there's a bit on the wall here that sounds hollow. I'm guessing the cement has contracted slightly. No other place in the whole bunker does it sound like that. Right then, on to the main bit. This is still one of the best things I have ever made.
Through your bones, is it racing through your soul? Does it reassure your mind when I say don't let me go? 'Cause every time you speak, I don't know what it does to me, but it makes me feel so weak, and I can see your electricity.
Now, stats on the room. It's 24 foot long by 16 foot wide. The ceiling is 8 foot high in the centre. The whole thing is covered in about 1 foot of concrete. It's a tiny bit thinner in some places, and it's a tiny bit thicker in some places. The distance between the top of the ceiling and the surface is just under 3 foot. About 18 inches, nearly half of that, is concrete, and also within that concrete is a load of steel beams for extra strength. Now, in August 2020, it will be about 5 years old, and I'm standing here and it does not look any different to the day we made it. There is even still footprints on the ceiling from when the sheets of metal were stood in a heap at the top of the hole. Now, there's a few other marks. I've got some black soot up on the ceiling here because I've got a flame-throwing guitar, and we filmed that video down here of me basically flame-throwing the ceiling, because you can do that down here. It's a metal box. The ceiling will not catch fire. This is one of the things that I actually use it for. It's a pretty good set because It's a constant. The lighting's always the same. There's no road noise. There's no wind down here or anything. The Deus Ex video of me with my arm-mounted rocket launchers, I filmed that down here. We can fire fireworks down here. It doesn't matter. There's a burn mark on the ceiling down there where we blew a drone up. It's brilliant for that. So I get asked, do I use it? Yes, I do. Other than filming in here, I've got my 3D printer down here. That can be whirring away all night. It's not going to keep anybody up. I watched the Formula 1 down here because it's got Sky TV. Also, Rick, who helps me out, he's in a blues band. This is the ultimate band practice room.
That lady, she's got a lead on me. My baby.
Because it's soundproof. It's also where I keep a lot of my projects. We have ejector bed, thermite launcher, Assassin's Creed grappling hook, Wolverine claws, spinning belt of knives, firework rocket launcher, flamethrower guitar, multiple world records, fold-out metal shield, wrist-mounted flamethrowers, turkey cooking machine, magnetic shoes, wrist-mounted hydraulic jaws, hydraulic scissor shoes. That's a lot of cool stuff. You should probably subscribe. But what's it like as a room? Well, temperature-wise, 12 degrees all year round. Ventilation, got a high level one above the door, a low level one in this corner. Now that's got a fan in front of it, but we don't actually use that anymore. It kind of self-circulates itself, and you never come down here. It's never damp. It never stinks, never leaked. The walls haven't gone rusted. The only problem we've had is a bit of condensation in the tunnel from when the band are in here, but it turns out you solve that, A, by lacquering it, and B, by putting a duvet up, and then it stops all the hot air from going in there. Fantastic. I wouldn't make it any differently if I was to do it again. It's spot on. Size, everything, brilliant. Now, put a request out on my social media channels if you had any questions, and these were the most popular ones. Could you live in it? Have you ever slept down there? Have you got supplies? Well, yep, I've got some food, we've got water, we've got various other little bits and bobs. I've actually got some toilet rolls, but there's no toilet. I have sat down here a couple of times when we had that heat wave. Would I want to live down here? Not if I didn't have to, mainly because there's no windows. How much did it cost, and did you need planning permission for it? Yes, I did have to have planning permission. Now, I got it retrospectively, which was a bit of a risk, but also it needed building regs as well, so building control had to come and check to see if they were happy with it. And in terms of costs, I can't give you an exact number because it was a sponsored project and I'm contractually obliged not to give away those sorts of things, but you'd buy a pretty decent family saloon with it. Would it ever flood? No. I live on top of a hill, so if this place floods or fills with water, a lot of other people have drowned. Will there be any additions? Well, at some point, I'd like to extend it, put like a proper bathroom in it. But of course, I've got houses behind me now, so it's not as easy getting all the rubble out. But what I am working on right now is a gasifier, so we can run engines off wood gas. Ooh, very apocalyptic. Will it add value to your house? I don't know, I'm never going to sell it, but I was told by an estate agent I'd have to sell the bunker with the house attached to it, rather than the house with a bunker. So there we are. After 5 years, it is just as solid as the day it was built. And I encourage anyone, if you've got the space and the money, build one. It is a fantastic room to have. Especially with things like they are in the world at the moment. I'm pretty glad I've got it. Now, if I have missed anything or is anything else you want to know, stick it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it as much as possible. But before I leave you, there is one cool thing which I've done in here, which I have got to show you. So, I've got a smoke machine, the vent's blocked up, and I'm just going to hold it on continuously. Let's wipe this place out. I'm here! Okie doke. See you in the next video.